Brain-computer interface company Neuralink announced that it has received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for a clinical study in humans. We are excited to share that we have received FDA approval to launch our first in-human clinical study, Neuralink said on Twitter. The tweet said that the approval represents an important first step that will one day allow our technology to help many people. Welcome to TechFlix. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any newly uploaded videos. And hang on till the end of the video. So let's dive in. What is Neuralink? Elon Musk and a group of scientists and engineers founded Neuralink in 2016 with the ultimate goal of creating devices that can communicate with the human brain, both receiving information from neurons and feeding information directly back into the brain. So far, the company has had mixed success. Musk publicly showed Neuralink's prototype brain-computer interface in 2020 for the first time. The prototype was in the shape of a coin, with wires attached to one side. The round part is embedded in the skull, and the wires sit a few millimeters into the surface of the brain. The Neuralink team demonstrated how its technology could be used to play the classic video game Pong with a monkey. The company received criticism after some monkeys in the tests died, and reports came out that others were treated poorly. Future testing and more. The company's goal is to connect human brains to computers and test its technique on people who are paralyzed. A robot will assist in placing a BCI that will allow people to operate a computer cursor or type using only their thoughts. However, competing businesses have already implanted BCI devices in humans. In May, Neuralink received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for its first human clinical trial, a critical milestone after earlier struggles to gain approval. Former and present employees told the news that the company has requested permission to implant its gadgets in 10 people. The company is looking for people who have paralysis to test its experimental technology in a 6-year research. To put it simply, a BCI is a computer-based system that receives brain signals, analyzes them, and converts them into requests that may be delivered to an output device to function. Among the 3 BCI types, invasive BCIs, partially invasive BCIs, and non-invasive BCIs, Musk chose to conquer the invasive BCI, the toughest one that involved surgical implantation of a device into the skull of the user. According to Musk, this technology will allow the paralyzed to walk, the blind to see, and people to someday become cyborgs. According to the study, the FDA's major safety concerns about the device include the lithium battery, the possibility of the implant's wires migrating to other brain areas, and the difficulties in removing it without damaging brain tissue. Signals through the Neuralink chip. Musk wants Neuralink to not only connect the brain to tech, but to restore neural activity in damaged parts of the brain and body. In addition to effectively curing paralysis, blindness, mental disease, and neurological illnesses including Alzheimer's and dementia, this would allow people with spinal cord injuries to move their limbs. Can you believe it? The Neuralink device can transmit messages to the limbs even when the spinal cord is damaged, because it can capture brain signals. The person would need a Neuralink chip in their brain as well as beneath the injured spinal cord section to accomplish this. With enough practice, the person could be able to get back their ability to walk, and Neuralink might cure their paralysis. Also, in a tweet from 2020, Twitter user Pranay Pathole asked the millionaire entrepreneur, "Can Neuralink be used to retrain the part of the brain which is responsible for causing addiction or depression? It'd be great if Neuralink can be used for something like addiction/depression." Musk replied, "For sure. This is both great and terrifying. Everything we've ever sensed or thought has been electrical signals. The early universe was just a soup of quarks and leptons. How did a very small piece of the universe start to think of itself as sentient? It's still unclear exactly how this will be done. What we do know is that Neuralink researchers are developing a procedure that includes placing electrodes in the internal capsule, an area of the brain. Brain signals. According to the company, a robot would be used to surgically attach 64 flexible threads, thinner than a human hair, onto a part of the brain that controlled movement and tension at the start of the 6-year trial. These enable Neuralink's experimental N1 implant, which is powered by a wirelessly charged battery, to record and transmit neural signals wirelessly to an app that decodes how the individual intends to move. According to the company, those who have quadriplegia due to injury or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a disease in which nerve cells in the spinal cord and brain degeneration, may be eligible for the experiment. While Mr. Musk's involvement enhances the profile of Neuralink, he faces competitors, some of whom have a track record stretching back nearly 2 decades. Utah-based BlackRock Neurotech implanted its first of many BCIs in 2004. Precision Neuroscience, formed by a Neuralink co-founder, also aims to help those who are paralyzed. Its implant resembles a very thin piece of tape that sits on the surface of the brain and can be implanted via cranial microslit, which it says is a much simpler procedure. Meanwhile, existing devices are generating results. Implants were utilized in 2 different recent U.S. scientific investigations to monitor brain activity while a person was trying to talk, which could then be decoded to help them communicate. Dr. Adrian Rapeau, a research associate in Imperial College London's Neural Interface Lab, told the BBC that Neuralink has no doubt an advantage in terms of implantation because their surgery was robotically assisted. But Dr. Rapeau, who is also a co-founder of a neural implant startup Mint Neuro, said it wasn't clear how their method for converting brain signals into useful actions would do better than that used by BlackRock Neurotech, for example, and whether it is able to stay accurate and reliable over time. A known issue in the field. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for being to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video below in the comment section. Let's meet again with another interesting video.